Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have an interesting video today. It's something that I've been thinking about, and I come across an article, well, many articles that said that it's best to keep your goals to yourself and not talk to anybody about it, and you're more likely to accomplish them that way. And I really believe in that. I believe that the less you say about your plans, the more likely you are to accomplish them. However, sometimes some people just really want to talk to someone about something because you never know what good can come of that. They may have some very useful advice for you, or sometimes you just really want to talk to someone about something. And if you find yourself in that position, I would advise that you speak to a stranger about your goals as opposed to speaking to your friend or sometimes even family members about your goals. And here are 10 reasons why. Strangers are more likely to encourage and support you. It's very strange that this is the case, but when you talk to your friends, your very close friends, about plans that you have, very rarely do they truly push you and encourage you to go ahead and do it. They may give some kind of passive support, like, oh yeah, that's great, that would be a great idea, but they never really give you that encouragement and that push to go ahead and do it. They just don't. It's kind of, it falls flat every time, at least in my opinion. And I've come to realize that when you talk to a stranger about your goals or your plans, they don't know you, so they don't know what your capabilities are. Plus, because they don't know you, they don't have emotional ties to you, so it won't affect them that much if you failed. And because of that, they're more likely to be objective and to go ahead and encourage you to do whatever it is that you tell them that you're trying to do. Friends, on the other hand, and family members, they care about your well-being, and they don't want to see you sad. So sometimes they begin to think about the safest route that you should take in life. And because of that, when you tell them you're about to do something that's risky, they're less likely to encourage you. So strangers are more likely to encourage you and support you because they're less likely to think, oh, I know this little girl. I was in the hospital when she was born. So, it's kind of hard. It's hard for people that have known you for a long time to kind of wrap their head around you as being this great, awesome, amazing, popular person sometime later in life, because they've known you for so long. So they don't encourage you that much. Strangers, on the other hand, don't know you, so they're more likely to encourage you. So if you want to talk to someone and you desire some kind of encouragement and support, talk to a stranger, not your friends, because you're more likely to get encouragement and support from strangers. Reason number 2 is that they have no emotional ties to you, so their judgment of you will not matter. So let's say you're in an airplane, you meet a stranger, and you guys are talking about your plans and your goals, and you tell them what your goals are, and they're so outlandish, or they don't think it's a good idea. They will have a certain judgment of you, but it wouldn't matter because they're strangers and you wouldn't see them again probably after you get off that flight. So you can afford to really express yourself and tell them exactly what you want to do. They may think to themselves, wow, this girl her head is so far in the clouds, or they may think she will never succeed in this field, it's already saturated, or they'll think, well, I don't know if she's intelligent enough to do what she's trying to do. So they'll have all these judgments, but their judgment of you will never reflect in their friendship towards you, because they're not friends with you and you wouldn't see them again after that. So it doesn't matter what their judgments are of you because of the plans that you've told them. Or maybe you're 50 years old and you tell someone, I plan on starting an acting career or a music career, and they'll have all these negative judgments of you, but it wouldn't matter because they're strangers and you won't see them again. Do you see my point? Number 3 is very closely related to number 2, which is strangers are more likely to be honest with you if they think that your idea is not the best. If you tell a stranger about your goals and let's say you're planning on opening a restaurant, and they know someone that has tried opening a restaurant and have failed, maybe in the same city or the same street that you're trying to open your restaurant, they're more likely to tell you restaurants fail. A lot of restaurants are likely to fail. They're just more likely to be honest. Or if they tell you that they think it's a good idea and you will be successful, they're more likely to be honest because they're more likely to be objective. It wouldn't affect them if a restaurant failed or not. It wouldn't affect them if it succeeded or not. So they're more likely to be objective with you and to be honest to you and tell you, well, it's very difficult to get into that field. I have tried, or a friend of mine has tried and they weren't successful. So that honesty is very valuable. And another thing is, even if their opinion is incorrect, even if they don't think that your goals are the best and they don't say it verbally, you can tell that by the facial expression of your body language, there'll be a shift in their behavior that will tell you that perhaps they don't think my idea is the best. As opposed to your friends who sometimes they feel compelled to encourage you, even if they don't think your idea is the best. Because you're friends with them, they're going to encourage you and they may lead you down a path that they probably should have discouraged you from. So that's another reason why it's best to confide in strangers about your goals as opposed to your friends. Number 4 is a good one. You are more likely to inspire strangers than you are to inspire friends or distant family members, like cousins and stuff. Because family members know you, they've seen you when you're down, and they think they know your full potential based on the things that you've done in the past. So they're more likely to put you in this box where it's like, well, I know she likes this sort of thing, or I know she's gonna see this through, or I don't think she's gonna see it through. She doesn't usually see this type of things through. But strangers are more likely to be inspired by you because they don't know you. They don't know how intelligent you are. They don't know what your life experiences are. They don't know what your financial state is. So they're more likely to believe that you can do the things that you have convinced them that you can do. And because of that, they're more likely to be inspired by you. And it's always good if you can inspire someone just by telling them your goals and your plans, isn't it? So yes, that's another reason. But friends, on the other hand, will look at you and think, well, I know where you work. I think I kind of have an idea how much money you have in your account. So I'm not sure how you're planning to accomplish this. So already they're not inspired. Okay, you don't wow them. To them, this is just words. They want to see results before they begin to feel inspired or actually sometimes even support you. With strangers, you don't have to worry about that. Number 5, you won't outgrow strangers because you don't have an ongoing relationship with them. Now, outgrowing friends is a big problem when you begin to take your own path and find your own way in the world. You will find that a lot of people that you used to be friends with just aren't doing it for you anymore. You begin to ask yourself, do I absolutely need this person in my life? We don't, I can't really talk to them about my plans because they have no interest in it. They have no advice usually, and it's like, so little things begin to creep in, and when they want to hang out and go to maybe a lounge or club or something, and you are busy planning your next steps, and you turn down all of their opportunities to hang out and just waste time, and gradually you begin to outgrow these friends. You won't have that problem with strangers because they're strangers. You only see them once, maybe a couple times. You talk to them about your goals. You tell them exactly what you plan on doing. They won't see you as, well, you're going in a different direction, so I'm not sure how this friendship is going to continue, sort of light, if you know what I mean. So they're more likely, you're less likely to outgrow the friendship because there is no friendship to begin with. So you can feel free to bare your soul and talk to them. Reason number 6, when you talk to a stranger about your goals, that stranger is not going to tell your friends about your goals because odds are they don't know your friends because they're strangers. But when you talk to a friend about your goals, and say you talk to your friend in confidence and only talk to one of your friend, what's going to happen is that one friend perhaps might get too excited about your goals and decide to share your goals with your other friends that you didn't talk to about it. And before you know it, everybody know what your plans are and what you're working towards. And sometimes that's not the best place that you want to be when you're working on something. You kind of just want to work quietly until it gets to a certain point and then reveal. But you don't have the opportunity to do that when your friends tell everybody what you're working on. So that's a problem you don't have to worry about when you talk to strangers about your goals. No one else is going to know about it, even if that stranger goes back to wherever he or she is from and talks to her friend or family about it. It stays contained. The news stay contained, and you will never really know about it. It wouldn't have an impact on you because they're off somewhere. You don't know where they are. You don't hang out with them. You don't communicate with them, and you don't move around the same circles. So everyone else around you wouldn't know what you're working on. So it's still, you don't miss out on anything, really. So it wouldn't affect you that much. Number 7, stealing your idea will make less of an impact on you because you probably move in different circles from the stranger. Now, if you're strange, if someone is a stranger to you, it means you guys don't have the same circle of friends. And you probably don't even live in the same city or the same state, maybe not even in the same country. Maybe you met at an airport or just at an event or something, and you'll never see them again. If you tell them something, you confide in them, this is what I plan to do, this is how I plan to do it, and then they go off and they steal your idea, because they move in different circles from you, odds are the fact that they stole your idea will not affect your own. Let's say you're trying to start a business. The fact that they stole your idea will not affect your own business because they have their own crowd, their own friends, at least not in the beginning. Perhaps when the business grows and you begin to compete with each other, then it can be impactful. But what are the odds of that if you both have your own unique ways of going about things anyway? So stealing your idea will be less of an impact. If you tell your friend you plan on doing something and then they steal your idea, it will hurt you more emotionally, financially, and many other ways, because you guys have the same circle, you probably live around the same area. So if it's a business and it requires getting contacts or customers, your friend will be encroaching on your potential customers, and that can become a problem. You don't have to worry about this if you confide in a stranger. Number 8, friends may want to be part of your plans or your goals, even if you don't want them to. Strangers are less likely to expect to be part of whatever it is that you're working on. So let's say you come up with this bright idea, and your friends, you tell your friends about it, and you're in a difficult situation, you're trying to pull yourself out of it. They're in a difficult situation, they're trying to pull themselves out of it too. So naturally, they would expect that you should be okay if they want to be part of it, especially if they have something good to offer. But sometimes you just want to work on things by yourself. You don't want to have any partners, and it's more difficult to say no to a friend if they ask to be a part of your plans or your goals. Strangers, on the other hand, won't expect that, so they're less likely to ask you. And even if they do ask, you will feel more comfortable telling the stranger that you really just want to do this on your own, or you want to start on your own first and see how it goes, and then decide if you want to have a partner or not. So saying no to strangers is easier. So it's best if you talk to strangers about your goals. That way you don't put yourself in a position where you have to say no to friends when they ask to be a part of it. Number 9 is a big one. You are less likely to lose friends due to jealousy. Unfortunately, this happens very often, that when you begin to work towards something and the results begin to show, your friends will begin to feel more conscious about their own situation, and they won't be as excited for you as they were in the beginning when you first started. And then jealousy begins to set in, and before you know it, you're no longer friends with them again, because the jealousy and the discomfort just becomes too much, and you're just like, I think we're just best going off in our separate ways. You don't have the problem with strangers. Strangers are less likely to feel jealous of you because they don't know you, they don't compare themselves to you. There's a lot of information about you that they don't have, so they don't have that much of an emotional investment in you that they will feel so jealous, and just that they will feel miserable just by your own success. So that's another very important reason why it's best to confide in strangers than your friends. There's going to be less jealousy involved, and things will be a lot less complicated, and you're less likely to lose their friendship because you're not friends to begin with. Number 10, the last and one of the most important, is that strangers are more likely to have contacts that can help you, as well as ideas that you probably have not explored yet that can help you to accomplish your goal. In other words, they're more likely to bring a fresher perspective. The one thing with friends is that we tend to have roughly the same perspective as our friends, or even if we have different perspective, we probably already explored our friend's perspective while coming up with our goals. So there's nothing more we can get from them as far as their perspective. Also, we most likely already know all of our friends' contacts and the people that they're most likely to refer to us in order to help us accomplish our goals. So there's nothing much else that they can offer us as far as helping us proceed, because they already offered it, or they have nothing to offer, so many reasons like that. Strangers, on the other hand, are strangers. They have friends that you've never met. They come from families that you know nothing about. They have experiences that you don't know. So they're more likely to bring a fresher perspective or see things from a different point of view from you or your friends or your family. And they're more likely to know people that you don't know or you can't access, people that can help you accomplish your goal. And if you find a stranger that have these qualities, I will advise you to make them your next friend. So these are my 10 reasons why it is better to confide in strangers about your plans and goals rather than your friends, because there's so many benefits, and you can actually save your friendship by not confiding in some of your friends, because there's so many people that just cannot handle other people's good news. I don't know why, it's just the way it is. So if you value those people, you don't want to lose them, it's best to just not really confide in them about your goals. Perhaps you can hint, because you don't want to shock people when you suddenly accomplish something and you're like, when have you been working on this and you never even told me you're working on it. So you don't want to shock people, but you kind of just want to hint that, yeah, I'm thinking about doing this and this and this. You just don't have to go into detail about your plans and goals, like how you plan to accomplish it. That you can do with strangers. Another point that I forgot to mention, I guess this makes it 11, but I mentioned earlier that I've read that when you talk to people about your goals, they give you this sense of accomplishment that make you less likely to actually accomplish your goal. With strangers, you're less likely to feel that way because you don't see them often enough for them to actually give you that constant sense of accomplishment. So you're less likely to feel accomplished, and you're more likely to stay hungry and continue to work on your goal and, eventually achieve it, right? So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Leave a comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Florence Michelson, just like my YouTube name. And yes, I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.